Hey, good morning, financial literacy. Okay, so yesterday we started with one of our first spreadsheets that we can use on our assessments and our homework. So what I would like you to do, if you have not already created a financial literacy folder, I would like you to do that. And then once you have done that, I'd like you to go into that financial literacy folder. I'd like you to do folder, new, and then I'd like you to create a final project folder. So right there, and then I'd like you to open that final project folder. So once you open that final project folder, then I need you to go to File, New, and you're going to open up a new Google Sheet, a blank spreadsheet. And then, so you may need to hit pause if you haven't created all those folders yet. Okay, so once you get to your blank spreadsheet, we are going to name it your last name, whatever that is. So mine would be Clark. And then we're going to put banking formulas. All right, that's what you need to do. So go ahead and hit pause and get that. Once you are done, you're going to put your cursor on A1. So we are going to start in there, and we were going to say information from the problem. Okay, so when you hit enter and do that, I don't like the way that that's formatted. So I am going to go to my text wrapping tool right here, and I'm going to have it wrap so it's all in one cell. I also like it in the middle, so I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to align it horizontally, and I'm going to make this bold. Then we're going to go to C1, and we're going to type the word key and give that to ourselves. Actually, what I want you to do, we should have done this already, is click on the row 1, and we are going to make it center. We're going to have it in the middle, and we're going to do our text wrapping, and we'll leave it like that. So it'll do that for all of them now. So in our key, in C1, we have key. D1, we are going to use this paint, and we are going to paint it blue. I don't care what blue you use, and we're going to put input, enter. In E1, we are going to paint this one yellow. Oops. In E1, we're going to paint this one yellow, and we're going to put interest only. And then in F1, we're going to paint it green. I use the brighter colors because they're a little bit easier for me to see, and we're going to say ending balance. All right, so then we need to go to A2. So now we're going to label the information that we've used in our problem. So we always find the principal. We also find the rate. We get time, and we get the number of times compounded per year. And that's usually all we have, right? So again, I don't like the way that this formatted, so I'm going to highlight all of those. I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to do text wrapping, and I'm going to leave it like that. That's fine. We are going to highlight B2 all the way to B5, and we are going to paint those blue. And the reason why we're doing that and making these cells blue are these are the only cells we want to change. We're only going to change those. So the first thing we're going to do is our principal is always formatted, or is always a money. So we are going to format that as a currency. So click on B2 and format it as a currency. Our rate is always given to us as a percentage. So in B3, we're going to format that as a percentage. And then the other two are numbers, so we can highlight both time and number of times compounded, go into more formats, and choose number. Okay, we are going to start with, we're just going to put in some numbers to make sure that when I have something in and I put in a formula and then you put it in, that it matches. So we're going to start with 800 and enter. Make sure you type 800 and hit enter. Our rate is going to be 1.87%, and we're going to hit enter. We'll do 2 years for time, and then for fun, we'll do quarterly for our number of times compounded. A note that we're going to put in, so let's go ahead and highlight A, B, 6 through 7, so these 4 cells. We're going to go to Format. We're going to merge all, and then again we're going to format this so it's going to be in the middle. We're going to do text wrapping, and we'll leave it horizontally. And then I would like you to type out all the different ends. So annually will be 1. Go ahead and hit pause and type all of those. So n equals 1, semi-annually, quarterly. They're all on my board if you need them. I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to type them all in, and then you can hit pause and have them. Okay, so when I did this, the cells, they weren't big enough to fit everything so I could read it. So I went ahead and merged. I took this box. Here, I'll show you what I did. I highlighted A6 all the way down to B8. I went to Format, and I merged all my cells so that I could read the ends quickly. So I've got all of those there. Okay, now the formulas that we know are, we know simple interest. So go ahead and D5, put simple interest. We know compound interest. So DE5, we're going to put compound interest, and we know APY. Those are the ones we know. Again, I don't like the way that these are formatted, so I'm going to quickly highlight, text wrap. I'm going to move them in the middle. I'm going to center them, and I'm going to go ahead and make them bold so they're easy to find. For simple interest, we are going to highlight DE6, and we're going to paint those yellow because we're going to get our interest only there. And then we're going to highlight D7 and E7, and we're going to paint those green, and that's going to give us our ending balance for both of them. Okay, so for simple interest, in D6, you're going to hit equals, and then we are going to do Shift 4, B, Shift 4, 2, and then do Shift 8. So you can see what I'm typing, and then we're going to do Shift 4, B, Shift 4, 3, and then Shift 8. So times, and then Shift 4, B, Shift 4, and then 4. So now we've got our principal times our rate times our time, and that's going to give us our simple interest. Oops, I typed 3 twice, so I need to fix that. So see, I could see that I didn't get the right answer, and you should get $29.92 automatically. Now, if we want, so that is just the interest. So to get the ending balance, we're going to hit equals, and we're going to say D6 plus our B2, so B2. So that's our interest plus our principal, and that'll give us our ending balance. Okay, so for compound interest, we're going to do this in a different way. We're going to get the ending balance first, and then we'll get the interest only. So our compound interest formula, so in E7, we're going to type equals Shift 4, B, Shift 2, Shift 8, Shift 9, 1, plus Shift 9, B3, /, so that's your question mark key, B5, Shift 0, Shift 0, Shift 6, Shift 9, B5, Shift 8, B4, Shift 0. So then we are going to go ahead and type that and hit enter. Should work. Enter. and we should get $830.41. So then in E6, we're going to type equals, and we don't want to use what they have filled in because it's going to be a different formula. So it's going to be E7 minus B2, and then we hit enter, and we get just the interest. So we have that. Okay, so one more thing that we need to do, we need to go to G1. Let's paint this one purple. I don't care what purple you use, and we're going to put percentage. And then under that, we are going to go to F6, and we're going to paint that one purple, because we're going to get our percentage. So remember our APY, I'm going to write it out. Do not do this part, but I'm going to write it out. Our APY formula is 1 plus N over, rate over N to the N, and then all of that minus 1. So we are going to be typing this formula in, but it's going to look a lot different. So this is what we've been doing. So we're going to type equals, and then, oops, sorry, I have stuff in here, shift 9, 1 plus, and then we need a shift 9, and then we have our rate divided by our number of times compounded, shift 0, okay, and then we need a shift 0 again, and then we're going to do shift 6, and now we're going to do the N, so shift 9, and then it's to the N, so we're going to click on that, so B5, shift 0, and then we're going to do another shift 0, and then minus 1, and that should give us a percentage. So let's hit enter. Okay, it gives us a decimal. So what we need to do is we need to format F6 as a percentage. So we go over here, we click on F6, and we go up and format as a percent, and it automatically does it for us. So when we were doing the different formulas, this was P times, okay, so it's P times 1 plus the rate over the number of times compounded to the number of times compounded times time. So that was that formula. Anyway, you don't need to know that, or you do need to know that, but that's what we were using for this. So now you'll be able to find your answers, and you can use this on your homework or your test. All right. Make sure you put this in your final project folder, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.